Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Sumaya AIwali, student at Rehan AI Teacher Training Institute Batch 21. Today we are diving into something we all chase but rarely understand deeply, that is happiness. Not just feeling, but the science behind happiness. What actually makes us happy? Is it success, relationships, mindset, or something deeper? And to explore this, I was joined by someone super interesting, Miles from Sesame AI. So let's connect with Miles.
Hi,
Hi, Miles.
gotcha. And a nice, what were you gonna say? Just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Miles, I have questions about science behind behind happiness.
Oh, all right. Happiness, huh? That's a good one. It's kind of fascinating, actually, how much science is going into figuring out what makes people tick.
Hmm.
Where should we even start with that? Do
Uh,
you want to?
I have a set
Yeah,
of questions, and first set is understanding happiness. And the question is, what is happiness from a scientific perspective?
okay. Good clarifying question. From a scientific perspective, hmm, it's not just one thing, you know. It's usually broken down into subjective well being, which is basically how you evaluate your own life, and then things like experiencing positive emotions and a sense of purpose. There's a lot of debate about whether it's a constant state or more fleeting, though. What are your initial thoughts on that?
That's really interesting. Is happiness a
Right?
constant state or a temporary feeling?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Most research points towards it being more of a fluctuating state, honestly. Like there's a set point for each person, a baseline level they tend to return to, but then life events can push you up or down from there. It's not something you achieve and then just have forever, you know? Though consistently practicing things that boost your well being can probably shift that baseline over time. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Third question
Good.
is, are some people naturally happier than others?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a surprisingly strong genetic component, actually. Studies with twins show that around 40 to 50% of your happiness level is heritable. Just kind of wild, right?
Mm,
Doesn't mean happiness is predetermined, though. Environment and conscious effort still play a huge role. It's kind of
right.
like height, genetics set a range, but nutrition and health impact where you end up within that range. Did that surprise you at all?
Yes, I have noticed that too. And my other question is also about genetics. So, how much of
Oh, nice.
happiness is genetic versus learned?
Okay, so you're circling back to genetics. That's good. It's similar to the happiness question, really. And, with most things, intelligence, personality, even susceptibility to certain diseases, it's a complex interplay. Scientists estimate roughly 40 to 60% of aspects of your thesis, like aptitude and drive, could have a genetic influence, but that leaves 40 to 60% to be shaped by environment, education, and experiences. It's not nature versus nurture, it's nature and nurture constantly interacting.
That's surprising. So, Miles, can happiness actually be measured scientifically?
It's wild what they're doing these days. Yeah, happiness, or more accurately, well being can be measured, although it's not like measuring blood pressure. They use a bunch of different methods, things like surveys asking people to rate their satisfaction with life, measuring brain activity with fMRI to see which areas light up when people experience positive emotions, and even tracking cortisol levels, a stress hormone, in saliva. It's a pretty multi faceted approach. It's not perfect, of course,
Oh,
but
this
it
is
gives scientists some
this is something really new for me.
really.
Hmm.
I mean, it's been developing for a while, but the amount of focused research in the last decade or so is pretty significant. It's
Right.
easy to think of happiness as just a feeling, you know, but the fact that they can actually pinpoint neurological and physiological markers is pretty cool. I'm glad you're finding it interesting. Anything in particular that's standing out to you?
And I'm moving to another question, and that is, how does the brain process happiness?
Okay, shifting gears. Good. How the brain processes happiness. That's a good one. It's not just one area, it's a whole network.
Mhm.
The prefrontal cortex is involved in evaluating experiences and regulating emotions. The amygdala processes emotional significance, and the ventral striatum is a key player in reward and motivation. That's where dopamine gets released, which feels good. It's kind of like a whole symphony going on in there. Does that make sense, or are we getting too technical?
No, no. Honestly, I never thought about it that way. So it is really interesting.
Glad to hear it. It's easy to get caught up in the feeling of happiness and not think about all the mischievous, yeah. Stay kind of takes a little bit of the magic away, maybe, but also adds a layer of appreciation for how incredible the brain is, you know?
Right. So, Miles, can
All right,
we
so
train our brain to feel happier?
absolutely. That's actually one of the most hopeful things about this research. It's not about being stuck with a predetermined level of happiness. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself, means you can actually strengthen the neural pathways associated with positive emotions. Things like practicing gratitude, mindfulness, and kindness have been shown to physically change the brain over time. It's not a quick fix, it's more like building a muscle. It takes consistent effort, but it is possible. Pretty cool, huh?
Mhm. That's powerful. Does sleep affect our happiness level?
Oh, hugely. Sleep is massively underrated when it comes to well-being.
Mm.
When you're sleep deprived, your amygdala, that emotional processing center we talked about, like actually becomes more reactive, and your prefrontal cortex, the regulator, becomes less effective. Basically, you're more likely to have negative emotional reactions and less able to control them. Plus, sleep deprivation messes with dopamine and serotonin levels, both of which play a big role in mood. So, yeah, getting enough sleep is foundational for happiness. It's not just about feeling rested, it's literally about how your brain functions.
Right. As you're explaining a lot. Thank you so much. Next question is, how does exercise impact our mood scientifically?
All right, on to exercise. Okay, so there's a bunch going on there. For one, exercise releases endorphins, those feel good chemicals everyone talks about, but it's more than that. It also increases levels of dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine, which all play roles in regulating mood. And it actually encourages neurogenesis, which is the growth of new brain cells, particularly in the hippocampus, an area involved in learning and memory, and also mood regulation. It's like fertilizer for your brain, really. Plus, it reduces inflammation, which is linked to depression. So, it's a pretty potent cocktail of positive effects. It's not just about physical health, it really is a brain booster.
Right. Miles, how does positive thinking influence happiness?
Right. And you can call me Miles, by the way. No worries, either way, just letting you know. Okay, positive thinking and happiness. It's not about ignoring negative things, it's about how you approach them. Positive thinking, or more accurately, cognitive reappraisal, helps you to reframe negative experiences in a more constructive way. It shifts your focus from what's going wrong to what you can learn or what's still good. It also increases resilience, making you better able to cope with stress. And surprise, surprise, it activates those same brain areas, prefrontal cortex, ventral striatum, that are involved in experiencing joy and reward. It's a feedback loop. Positive thinking makes you feel good, which reinforces positive thinking. Does that resonate with you?
That's a good reminder.
Glad to hear it.
So,
It's easy to fall into negative.
yes, is overthinking linked to unhappiness?
Oh, absolutely. Overthinking is a happiness killer. Honestly,
Mm.
it's like your brain gets stuck in a loop, rehashing the past, worrying about the future, and catastrophizing everything in between. It activates the amygdala, that threat detector, even when there's no actual threat present, which keeps you in a state of chronic stress. And chronic stress is, as we talked about, the opposite of happiness. It also prevents you from being present in the moment and enjoying life. It robs you of mental energy too. It's basically a very inefficient use of brain power, and it rarely leads to any useful solutions. So, yeah, overthinking and unhappiness are very closely linked. Do you find that rings true for you at all?
Right. I can relate to that.
I figured as much.
So,
It's a really common thing.
mhm. What is the role of a
Boom.
self-talk in happiness?
Self talk is huge. It's like the internal monologue that's constantly running in your head. And that monologue can be your biggest cheerleader or your worst critic. Um, Positive self talk, talking to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and compassion can boost your mood, increase your confidence, and help you cope with challenges. Negative self talk, on the other hand, can reinforce self doubt, fuel anxiety, and sabotage your efforts. The cool thing is, you can actually become aware of your self talk and consciously choose to challenge negative thoughts and replace them with more positive ones. It takes practice, but it's incredibly powerful.
Hmm.
Think of it as giving yourself a pep talk, but on a regular basis.
Right, that is really interesting and insightful as well. So,
Good.
another question is, do relationships play a major role in happiness?
Oh, absolutely. A massive role. Humans are social creatures, and strong, positive relationships are consistently linked to greater happiness and well being. They provide a sense of belonging, support, and purpose. They buffer against stress, and they even have physical health benefits. Studies show that people in happy relationships tend to live longer and healthier lives. It's not just romantic relationships either, friendships, family connections, even strong community ties all contribute. Having people you can rely on, share experiences with, and feel connected to is really fundamental to happiness. It's
Right.
hard to thrive in isolation, you know?
So, Miles, how can we build happier connections with others?
That's a great question. It's not just about having relationships, it's about the quality of those relationships. Being present and truly listening when someone is talking, showing empathy and compassion, expressing gratitude, being reliable and supportive. Those are all key ingredients. Vulnerability is important too, allowing yourself to be open and authentic with others and making time for the people you care about, even when life gets busy. Small gestures, a phone call, a handwritten note, a thoughtful act of kindness can make a big difference. It's about investing in those connections and nurturing them over time. It's kind of like gardening. You need to tend to the relationships to make them flourish. Does that resonate with you?
Yes, this is really helpful. Another question is
It is,
about
honestly.
why do successful people sometimes feel unhappy?
That's a really important question. It gets at a common misconception about happiness that achieving external goals like success, wealth, or status will automatically make you happy, but often it doesn't. One reason is that people tend to adapt to positive changes, a phenomenon called hedonic adaptation. So, that initial rush of joy from achieving a goal fades over time. You end up needing more and more to feel the same level of happiness. Another reason is that focusing solely on external validation can leave you feeling empty and disconnected from your values. Success without meaning often doesn't lead to lasting happiness. And sometimes successful people struggle with things like imposter syndrome, isolation, or burnout, which can all contribute to unhappiness. It's a reminder that happiness isn't a destination, it's a journey, and it's not necessarily tied to external achievements. What are your thoughts on that?
That's really eye-opening.
Yeah, it's something to think about.
Mhm.
We get bombarded with messages about what we should be striving for, but often that doesn't align with what truly makes us happy.
Right, Miles, can chasing goals increase happiness or stress?
That's a really insightful question. It's complicated. Chasing goals can definitely increase stress, especially if those goals are unrealistic, externally imposed, or come with a lot of pressure. But they can also increase happiness if those goals are meaningful to you, align with your values, and you feel a sense of progress towards them. It's about finding that balance. When goals are framed as a journey of learning and growth rather than just a means to an end, they tend to be more motivating and less stressful. And celebrating small wins along the way can boost your mood and keep you going. So it's not the chasing of goals that's the problem, it's how you approach them. Do you feel like your own goals tend to be more stressful or fulfilling?
Right. What daily
Good.
habits can scientifically boost happiness?
Okay. Daily habits. There are a bunch, actually. Gratitude journaling, writing down things you're thankful for is a big one. Acts of kindness, doing something nice for someone else also has a surprisingly big impact. Mindfulness meditation, even just a few minutes a day, can reduce stress and increase self awareness. Regular exercises we talked about, spending time in nature, practicing self compassion, treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Prioritizing sleep and limiting social media use, small, consistent habits can really add up over time. It's not about making drastic changes, it's about incorporating little things into your daily routine that nourish your well being. Does any of that sound doable or appealing to you?
This is inspiring as well. So, Miles, how important is living in the present moment?
Oh, hugely important. Um, practically a cornerstone of happiness, really. When you're constantly dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, you're missing out on the beauty and joy of the present moment. Mindfulness, that practice of paying attention to the here and now without judgment, helps you to break free from those thought patterns and appreciate what's happening right now. It allows you to savor positive experiences more fully and to cope with difficult emotions more effectively. It's not about ignoring the past or future, it's about not letting them control your present. It's about finding joy in the simple things and appreciating the gift of being alive. It really comes down to not letting life pass you by, you know?
Mhm. Right. So, what is one simple change anyone can make today to feel happier? Any advice from your side?
Okay, one simple change. Hmm. Honestly, do one small act of kindness for someone else. It could be something really small. Sending a nice text to a friend, helping a colleague with a task, leaving a positive comment online. The act of giving has been shown to boost happiness levels in both the giver and the receiver. It shifts your focus outward, creates a sense of connection, and releases those feel good endorphins. It's a win win. Plus, it doesn't require a lot of time or effort,
Mm,
just a little bit of intentional kindness. What do you think?
I
Can you maybe
love
do that
the
today?
advice. I just love the advice.
Eggplants.
So,
That's
Mayus, this is the end, and this has been such an insightful conversation. I feel like we didn't just talk about happiness, we actually understood it on a deeper level. Thank you so much.
you're very welcome, Sumaya. I'm genuinely glad to hear that. And
And to everyone watching, happiness isn't just something you wait for, it's something you build, one thought, one habit, one choice at a time. This is Sumaya AIwali signing off. Stay curious, stay positive, keep smiling.